In this video, I would like to show you the capabilities that you can achieve with the extension kit regarding the HTTP integration. So, as you're probably aware, in many different, not just mFalse implementations, but any other IT system implementation, there's some way of integration that is requested by your customer. Quite often, that can be achieved by using the HTTP integration. What we wanted to support with the HTTP integration module is that whenever you would have some case when you would like to send the data from the mFalse to the other system, you can very easily configure that by using the extension kit. So instead of having to write your own custom code that handles everything that is needed for achieving HTTP integration, like authentication, authorization, sending requests, parsing the data, parsing the response that you get from the HTTP endpoint, we wanted to put everything in the extension kit so you don't have to write a piece of code to achieve this kind of integration. Also, by having this configurable, you are sure that if something changes on the other side, for example, someone adds a new property or someone removes a property, you are going to be able to enter the configuration, change this in configuration, spend a minute or two, and then your integration still works. In the case where you are writing your own custom code, that means that you would have to open your solution, change the code, deploy application once again, and this process is much more painful than having to log into the configuration, change configuration, save configuration, and it works. So let's see the configuration piece of the HTTP integration. As every other module, you define the rule groups, you define the rules, and let's see this one rule or one example in which you want to, when invoice is created, you want to send the data to API. For this example, we will take a look at the advanced configuration modes. You will see all the different options available in the HTTP. In case you would need some more clarification, in case all of the properties are explained in our documentation, but in case something is not clear, you have the concern or you have a question about capabilities, drop us an email and we would gladly help you with your implementation. In this example, as said, when invoice is created, send data to API. So we have the trigger type object changed. For this object change, we define the trigger source. In this case, object type is document, class is AR invoice, workflow is AR invoice, and then state is invoice approved. Here, what we want to look is the HTTP settings part of the configuration, and I also have advanced mode enabled here. So when the invoice is approved or invoice is created in the mFalse, you want to send this data to API. So let's imagine that our API is available under this URL. What you want to define is which HTTP method you would like to send. So you can send get, post, put, or delete. All the standard methods for HTTP integration. So I want to send the post request to this API. You can specify the headers. So if the other side requires some parameters in the headers, you can specify parameters in header. So if I want to add a new header, you define the header value. Let's imagine that this is authentication. It's not very much important. And for the value type, you can choose expression or property. So you can map what is in your mFalse to what will be sent in a header. I'm going to remove this, and then in addition to the headers, you can specify the body type. Body type, as you will see here in a moment, can be none, it can be URL encoded, it can be JSON, or it can be XML, or it can be raw. Quite often we want to send the JSON request. That's why we wanted to prepare this example with the JSON. And let's imagine that other side expects a request in this format. So you want to send the data in the format of the JSON, and you want to send AR document name field, invoice number, customer, invoice amount, currency, and then you also want to send a file to the endpoint. So here you can see that for example, for AR document name, I have something which is like @AR name. Where is this defined? It is defined here. So I have the label AR document name, and then for the value, I defined the value from the M files. So property in the M files, AR document name, will be added to the JSON body for this field. So basically, this @AR name, this will be replaced with what is configured here. So let's just, for a moment, you can see that, once again, static or dynamic. When you select dynamic, you can select if it's expression, if it's property, it's file name, it is email address. So everything you needed to map the property from the M files to the request that will be sent. Now let's see the file, for example. I have parameter name file, and then this parameter type, it will be just like the text, because it is the base 64 encoded file. And when I selected the parameter name is file, I can select what will be the mode, and mode for this is source object. So invoice that is created, I want to send this invoice as a base 64 to the API endpoint. And the same as all other parameters. So what you can see here, they're all mapped to the JSON body. Now, as I said at the beginning of this video, I already have this advanced mode. On the level of the rule, I have the advanced mode included. Just for the simplicity, now I'm going to switch both options to the simple. You can see that there are not many options, that many options available right now. But if I change it back to the advanced, all of options are available, and now you can handle things like, for example, if something fails with the previous action, in case of an error, you can send some rollback. You define the rollback HTTP settings, and for rollback HTTP settings, once again, you can define what will happen, what kind of request you would like to send. Then, for example, you can set properties. So you choose which property you want to set, and then you can, for example, if your API returns some message, or returns some status code, or returns JSON stating that invoice is created, and for example send you the ID of that invoice created in ERP, you can parse that response and store it back to the M file. So in this response transformation, you can select the JSON path, and then you can specify where in the JSON response is your ID that you want to store in the M files. And now, as said, so many different advanced options. There will be additional video about all the advanced options about the HTTP. But for you, just to understand that you can specify property error handling behavior, execution mode, rule error handling behavior. You can specify if it's business critical or not. So I would say whatever you need regarding the HTTP integration, it is already supported in the extension kit, HTTP integration module. If it's not supported, feel free to reach us. Explain your use case. We will see if it's already supported with the extension kit or not. If it's not supported, that we can consider adding this functionality to the extension kit, and we'll see what we can do to support you with your use cases, not just HTTP integration use cases, but use cases for every other module. Hopefully you found this useful. In case of any questions, drop us an email, and thank you for watching this video.